There's a moment in every legal drama where the predator walks into their own trap. In the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni lawsuit over It Ends With Us, that moment happened under oath in a deposition. Blake Lively's legal team thought they had a gotcha. They pressed Justin Baldoni on whether he planted stories to paint Ryan Reynolds as a misogynist. Justin's answer was devastating. "I don't believe we had to make Ryan look like a misogynist." The lawyer snapped back, "That wasn't my question." Justin, "That was my answer." Translation, "I didn't have to frame your client. Your client walked out on stage, set himself on fire, and I just didn't bring a fire extinguisher." Because according to thousands of pages of unsealed documents, Ryan Reynolds wasn't a passive husband. Based on this testimony, he appears to be the architect of a campaign to humiliate Justin Baldoni, and in the process, revealed exactly who he is when the cameras aren't rolling. And where did he reveal it? You cannot make this up. According to deposition testimony, Blake and Ryan refer to their New York penthouse as Buckingham Palace. Why? Blake told Justin it's because so many celebrities walk through there. On January 4th, 2024, Buckingham Palace became a courtroom and Justin Baldoni was summoned. What followed, according to Wayfarer CEO Jamey Heath's testimony, wasn't a meeting, it was an ambush. Ryan Reynolds, who was not in the movie, not a producer, not employed by the studio, allegedly took over the room. Justin testified, Ryan pulled out his phone and read accusations like a prosecutor reading charges. And this is the part that should disturb you. Ryan allegedly had a pre-written apology that he wanted Justin to read word for word. This isn't conflict resolution. This looks like a hostage video. Read these words. Admit to these crimes. Kiss the ring. And when Justin refused to do it, that's when Ryan showed who he really is. According to Jamey Heath's deposition, tension spiked whenever Justin defended himself with facts. When Blake alleged an incident and Justin said, "But that didn't happen," Ryan didn't ask for clarification. According to sworn testimony, Ryan screamed, "Just effing apologize. Just do it regardless if it's true or not. Let that land. Regardless if it's true or not." Based on this testimony, Ryan didn't care about the truth. He cared about submission. But here's what I keep coming back to. Why bring a pre-written apology? Why have witnesses? A forced confession does two things, humiliation and evidence. No one can convince me that meeting wasn't recorded. And the only reason we'll never see it is because Justin didn't break, and the footage made Ryan look like exactly what he is. By allegedly demanding Justin apologize for fiction, Ryan wasn't looking for closure. He wanted a broken man kneeling in Buckingham Palace, acknowledging that truth is whatever Ryan Reynolds says it is. Justin described it as emotionally paralyzing, said Ryan spoke to him like a 5-year-old. Jamey Heath called it the hardest thing I've ever witnessed. Someone talking to another person with such belittlement. This isn't Deadpool being snarky. This looks like a man who believes his status lets him rewrite reality. And speaking of rewriting reality, let's talk about Christy Hall. If you don't know her name, that's by design. Christy Hall is the professional screenwriter who adapted Colleen Hoover's book. She's the woman who actually did the work. During the press tour, the one where Blake was telling domestic violence survivors to wear your florals, Blake dropped a bombshell. She bragged that the iconic rooftop scene was written by her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Said it with a smile. "He works on everything I do." There was just one problem. Nobody told Christy Hall. She admitted she thought the new lines were improvised by the actors. She had no idea Ryan had been rewriting her script. Now, if Ryan wrote pages during the WGA writers' strike, that would be what the union calls a very big no-no. I'm not saying he crossed a picket line, but if the WGA comes knocking, I'd love to be a fly on that wall. But even outside the strike, the disrespect is staggering. This is a movie about a woman finding her voice and escaping a controlling man. And the star's husband is secretly rewriting the female screenwriter's work, then taking credit on the red carpet. When the backlash hit, Blake allegedly sent Christy a private email. Not a public correction. A private, "I'm sorry you were ambushed" non-apology. They erased a female screenwriter's work on a movie about escaping controlling men, gentrified the narrative, and expected her to be grateful for the exposure. But here's where it gets tactical. Remember the truce? After the disastrous press tour, both camps allegedly agreed to a ceasefire. No more leaks. Then a story appeared calling the early cuts a disaster. Justin testified he found this odd. Why? Because on January 4th, while Ryan was screaming at him in Buckingham Palace, Ryan used that exact word, called the script a disaster. Weeks later, that specific word from that private meeting ends up in a headline. Based on Justin's testimony, it certainly looks like Ryan was the source. But here's the move. Ryan is protected by spousal privilege. In New York, you can't force a spouse to testify about private communications. Blake can't be compelled to say, "Ryan told me to leak that." Ryan can't be forced to explain how they coordinated. I've seen married couples use their anniversary for tax breaks. These two appear to be using their marriage license as a legal fortress. Ryan allegedly does the dirty work, Blake files the papers, and the law says they don't have to explain the connection. That's not romance. That's a merger with benefits. And then there's the lowest blow of all, the addresses. In recent court filings, Blake's team attached exhibits with the unredacted home addresses of Justin Baldoni and Jamey Heath. Justin has young children. He moved recently due to safety concerns. Jamey testified he fears for his family. And Blake's legal team put their locations in the public record. Lawyers at this level don't make mistakes like that. You don't accidentally forget to redact the address of the man you're suing in a case this big. I've seen better behavior from mob bosses. At least they have the decency to keep the intimidation off the public docket. Here's the irony of the Buckingham Palace strategy. They thought they were untouchable. Summon Justin, force a confession, rewrite the movie, destroy his reputation if he doesn't comply. But they forgot that in a court of law, charm is not evidence. Every document that gets unsealed makes Justin look like a professional navigating a minefield of narcissism. Every deposition makes Ryan look like a man who can't handle hearing the word no. Ryan Reynolds didn't need help looking like a misogynist. He managed that himself, the moment he allegedly looked a man in the eye and screamed, "Apologize regardless if it's true." We know what's inside the box now. It's not a hero. It's just a man in a penthouse, wondering why the world won't kneel anymore.